Good evening and welcome to The Winning Edge. I'm Bernie Sutton.
And I'm Al Nicholson. A young man in Regina, Joe Dupuy, has a business. It's called the HILLYBILLY VAC Shack. He's got an interesting way of letting us know about his company. He's got a big gorilla that runs loose around Regina. If you've ever been in there, you see it. Here's his story.
Basically, I'm a farm boy. I was born in Cutbank, Saskatchewan, and that's 30 miles west of North Battleford. And how I got into this business, when I was 16 years old, I had dropped out of school, and I had done some jobs for manual labor, putting farm machinery together, snowmobiles, this type of thing. And I decided at the age of 18 to go back to upgrading, to continue with my grade 10, to finish that off. And I was looking for a job in the summertime to pull me through.
Right.
So what I did at that time was I went door to door to all the businesses to give my application in, okay? And I didn't know that you could look into the newspaper for a job because I was just a country boy. And I also went down to Manpower, and I used to get these jobs pulling weeds out of ladies' gardens and things like that, you know, 2 hours a day, this type of thing. And I saw this one ad for a salesman wanted at $5 an hour. And I thought, well, I've got nothing to lose. I don't know how to sell anything because I didn't know I could have that potential to be a salesman. And basically I went down there, and the first month that I worked for this company, a Fairfax vacuum company, I sold 17 in my first month.
Right.
And back then, the commissions were good, and it was pure commission, and you just worked for yourself. And I learned after that just to rely on myself, and I enjoyed working for myself. And
How did you end up in Regina?
okay, what it was, Fairfax company, I went to PA to start up a franchise there of direct sales. I was there for a month, and I found out that a fellow the same age as me wanted to sell out his portion of it down here, and he'd been open for 3 months. And the fellows that were running it at the time told me it was a big opportunity, and I thought, well, 18 years old, you know, I thought dollar signs in my eyes and this type of thing, and so I came down here, and I didn't fare any better. I lasted maybe 6 months.
Right.
And from that point on, I had a fellow who was telling me about, you know, he suggested, well, what about reconditioned vacuums? And we would run across this sometimes, too, and we were selling, hey, well, what about recondition or repairs? And that's when the idea.
This is where a lot of people can't afford new vacuum cleaners.
A lot of people today would like to have a good vacuum system in their home, but it doesn't make a whole lot of sense to pay $1,600 when you can get one for $400 or $500 that's the same or a better warranty.
Right.
And that's what we provide. We're sort of a wholesaler to the public is what we are.
So you found a niche in there that you're going after. Now, I'd like to talk about that. How long have you, as the Hillbilly Vac Shack, been in operation?
Actually, it's HILLYBILLY VAC.
HILLYBILLY VAC Shack.
It's been in operation since 1979, July of 1979.
And your own creation?
Yes.
Where'd you come up with the name?
Actually, it was a friend of mine that said, why don't you call it Hillbilly Vac Shack? And we had a partnership. I had a partnership with a fellow when I first started it.
Right.
This lasted a month, and we parted our ways, but I ended up keeping the business. But I couldn't use the name Hillbilly Vac Shack. I had to use the name HILLYBILLY VAC Shack. That was the stipulation. I couldn't use the same name. So I said, okay, why don't I just call it HILLYBILLY VAC Shack? Yeah. And that's basically where it came from.
Now, you've got a rather unique marketing approach. How did you come up with this concept?
Actually, it was just a crazy idea that came across my mind one day. I thought, what have I got to lose by putting a monkey out on the street? I mean, it's going to attract attention. It can do one or two things. It can really turn people off and just turn everybody away and call it like lunatic or crazy or whatever. Or it could go the other way. And I thought, well, what have I got to lose? Yeah. I never started using the monkey until I was 5 years in business.
Right. Did it change the business for you?
Yes. Yes.
Up?
Yes.
And you have a monkey now that travels around the city, too, I
understand.
Yeah, I've seen him in different locations.
Mm-hmm.
What's Joe Dupuy's philosophy? What drives Joe?
Well, a lot of it is I like to motivate people. I like to motivate my staff. I like to help people out. I like to have people, when they come here, feel like they're coming into a home and leaving when they leave to feel good when they leave. I like it to sort of be a place where they can think of as a homecoming place. Yeah. Cozy. Yeah. Comfortable. Saskatchewan style. You know?
What do you do differently than your competition?
Well, our prices definitely speak for themselves. Our service, we like to provide very fast service. We've always had that. If anybody wants something done, they don't have to wait a week or 10 days or this type of thing. Usually we'll get it done when they want it done, not when we want it done. Yeah. And we try to treat people the way we want to be treated ourselves, with courtesy, and we try to be positive. When we answer the phone, we always say, fantastic day at the Hilly-Billy, instead of just, you know, like a conventional, mediocre type business. We like to be excited about what we do. We enjoy working here, you know.
What's your vision for the future, Joe?
Well, perhaps a few more Hilly-Billies, but I can't foresee that right now. I haven't got it written down as per se plan, but I can see it because I have had some people say to me, you know, why don't you do a little more with this? Right now I'm comfortable with this, but who knows, you know?
What's your advice for the young 16, 18-year-old looking off into a future?
The advice I would give them is don't look at people as being lucky, because the harder you work, the luckier you get. And try to be positive, and don't let people tell you what you can't do. Do it anyway. Go by your own gut feeling. If you feel good about something, do it. No matter what people say, no matter how many people try to discourage you. Because when I first started my business, I remember people driving by and just laughing. I mean, they'd look at the sign and they'd say, "Illegally," and they'd start laughing. I didn't know if they were just laughing because they liked the place, or if they felt good about it, or laughing at me. But I thought, let's go ahead and laugh. I'll be laughing, you know.
And you get the last laugh.
Sure.